Okay, well, welcome everyone. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you coming out. Hopefully where you're at, it's a nice sunny day. If I could get you to do this before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone can see the screen, hear me. If you could go ahead and click one of those thumbs up buttons, I think at the top left of your screen, that'll let us know that we're good and you can hear us and we can move forward. All right, good. Thanks for everyone playing along. Appreciate that. And looks like we're good to go. So welcome again. My name is Jason McClellan with Insurance Advisors Direct. We are a national FMO dedicated to serving the independent agent community, helping out in a variety of manners from product to sales tools to lead programs, marketing assistance. We strive to work with our agents, our independent agents across the country, giving them the tools, support, training, and back office that they need to be successful in the market we're in today, but most importantly in the changing market that we're experiencing and as we move forward along, especially when it comes to technology. So today we're going to take this presentation. This is actually a presentation that we had given at a large national conference about a year ago, and we've split it into a couple of different sections. So we're going to do the first half this week, and then you'll get a chance to see the second half next week when we introduce the other sales part of this. So let's go ahead and get started. This part, we're going to be spending more time talking about marketing. You know, it's not a topic that is really talked about that often or that frequently. If you go to sales events or you go to training events, more than likely you're going to hear mostly about product. And that's another thing that we understand agents need to know their products. You need to know what you're selling. You need to know the company. If you work in Medicare, you need to know the new Medicare Advantage plans for the new year. But at the end of the day, knowing a product, knowing those benefits, even if you know that specimen contract like the back of your hand, that doesn't necessarily help you increase your sales. And it may help you to work with your client a little bit better, but you got to go find those clients first. You got to go find those prospects. So what we want to spend some time talking about is how do we better market ourselves so that we have an opportunity to use our product knowledge with more people, help more people, and obviously increase our sales, increase our revenue, and do a better job on our business. Again, that's the key. So one of the things here, you'll see this quote, you need to, in this industry, why is marketing so important? Well, you have to market your way into the home, and you have to sell your way out. And that's a quote from Don Runge, good friend of mine. They call him the lead guru. Don has been with us on other events. He's been with us and traveled the country in person. And not to stray too far off topic, but you'll be seeing a video recording put out next week. Myself and Don did a little introductory video, and we're actually going to be doing 4 events over the next month where we're going to be talking about lead generation, what are the best leads, how to work those leads, how to effectively get appointments, how to make sales, how to generate referrals, how to mine your current book of clients to get more cross-selling opportunities. So we're going to dive into the whole world of leads in the coming weeks. So we hope all of you, when you get those invitations, will join us. We're excited to be putting those on. But again, before we get to those, we may need to understand what is marketing. You know, I think a lot of us, myself included, I've been guilty of this. We do certain things and we think that we're marketing ourselves. We think that we're marketing our business and our products. And we may need to better understand, again, what is marketing, what makes up marketing and successful marketing. And that can be challenging because things are changing rapidly. What worked 10 years ago may still play a role today, but what's success today might be derived from another marketing source or another tactic. And we're going to talk a little bit about tactics and what those are and how they come into your marketing strategy. So to do this, we're going to dive into an example here. Now, this is not our example. I have to admit, we took this. I read a book about a year ago called The One-Page Marketing Plan. So if you haven't read it, I would recommend it. Again, it's called The One-Page Marketing Plan. And much of this information was taken from some of the examples that they shared. And this was one that they shared, and I thought it was a perfect way to describe what sometimes fools us in thinking that we're actually marketing, but this helps break it down to show that maybe we're not necessarily marketing, or maybe we really don't have a strategy, and it's important to have one. So imagine, for example, a circus coming to town, and then we'll tie this into us as insurance people too. But imagine a circus coming to town, and you're in charge of the marketing. Well, so you go into that town and you put up a sign that says the circus is coming to town, Saturday, 1 p.m. Okay, great. We market it. Nope, that sign, see, that would be a part of marketing. That's advertising, how that works. So just like for those of you who maybe put a sign up in front of your office, maybe you have a marquee that you can put something up. Maybe you send a lead card out and you say, well, I'm marketing. Well, yeah, that's a part of marketing, but that is advertising, as we can see here. We're going to, again, tie this all together as we get a little bit further. So again, what is marketing? Well, now let's say, again, going back to our circus, we're going to use a few examples here with this circus. Let's say you took another sign, circus is coming to town. You put that in the back of an elephant, okay? Obviously, that's going to get some attention. And you march that elephant through the downtown. And people are lined up, and people are seeing this. Would that be marketing? Well, actually what that would be promotion. Okay, so now you've promoted your event on a larger scale. Now let's say something happens. We know there's publicity, good publicity, there's bad publicity, but let's say that elephant gets loose and tramples through the mayor's garden. And the local newspaper gets it, writes up about it. The circus is in town. The elephant got loose, stomped through the mayor's garden, and made a disaster. Well, that's publicity, okay? Now, again, we would prefer it to be good publicity, but that's publicity nonetheless. Now, if you can convince the mayor that this isn't a big deal and all is forgiven, he even laughs about it, you see, that's public relations, okay? Now, after the public relations, after the advertising, after the promotion, you continue, and maybe you use other outlets, maybe you use other media sources. Again, we're just kind of skimming the surface here. But at the end of this, you convince people in that town to come, spend their money, bring their families to visit your circus and those attractions. That's called sales. So when you look at marketing is a variety and series of tactics formulated to get you to that end result of sales. And so again, with each of these, with the sign, with the elephant, with the newspaper, with the mayor, see, if you had planned all of that out and you intended for those things to happen in one way or another, you see, that's marketing. And that's what a lot of us forget, is that marketing is not just one thing. You see, marketing is a true strategy. In fact, here is a quick definition for marketing. See, marketing is the strategy that you use for getting your ideal target market to know you, like and trust you enough to become your customer. Now, doesn't that sound like what we're all trying to do and accomplish on a regular basis? See, we're trying to get more people to become our customer. So in order to do that, though, we have to properly market ourselves. We are out there, yes, to help people, but we're out there to also earn an income, support our family, and grow our business. And you have to be better at marketing in order to do this. So the key to marketing success is creating a true strategy and not just tactics. Again, each of what we described earlier, and we're going to go through some other marketing tactics But what we described earlier was really a series of tactics designed and laid out properly that created a strategy. So that's how that works. So for example, direct mail. And I'm going to pick on direct mail a little bit because it's a very common way that we market, a tactic that we use that to get in front of people, to promote ourselves, to have someone to go see and talk to about our solutions. And it still works very well. So there are a lot of agents, agencies, call centers all over the country that still use direct mail. But the problem is if all we do is direct mail, see, we don't have a true strategy. And we are missing out on a number of sales and potential prospects by doing just that. I'll give you an example. So direct mail, and we hear from our independent agents all the time. Hey, thanks for all the training. Thanks for all the support. These tools are amazing. I need more leads. Okay, well, we try to deliver on those needs for our agents. We have a number of lead programs, types of leads, from direct mail to internet to live transfer calls to seminar events to social media leads. So we can cover all of those outlets. But let's use direct mail for an example. Prior to AEP, because we do a lot in the Medicare industry, we heard loud and clear from our agents, we need more leads. So we did some very serious campaigns, and just prior to AEP, we probably handed out a couple thousand Medicare leads to our agents. These were true Medicare lead cards that went out. They were signed and returned and sent back to us, and thus we handed them to those agents in those areas that we had promised. Very soon after that, we start getting some of those leads returned. So we ask for some lead disposition, we ask for some feedback, and from some of them, even those who were more vocal about needing leads, the one thing we started to hear was, well, I need some more leads. Okay, great. Well, what happened with these leads? How was your success? We hope they worked out. Well, these weren't any good. So the lead wasn't any good. That's surprising because the lead's not supposed to do a whole lot. We laugh and joke about this, but if you ever see a lead card that starts moving and talking, go get professional help, because a lead card is just a person that has requested some information and that you're able to go out and visit. You see, you get paid to be the salesperson. It's your job to engage with that prospect, to work with them, to train them, or to educate them, and to help them navigate those multitude of solutions and get to the proper solution. That's your job, not the job of the lead card, which, again, is one of the reasons why we're putting on a series of lead training events as well. But again, back to direct mail. Okay, well, it didn't work out. Okay, we can get you some more leads, and then the next agent comes back in. I need more leads. Here's the old ones. Okay, great. How did these turn out? Well, pretty good. I made a sale, but the rest couldn't get a hold of. Oh, okay. Well, what are you going to do with those next? Well, I need more leads. Okay, but you have leads, and you haven't actually engaged with a prospect yet, so you need more? Well, yeah, I need more leads. These aren't any good. Okay, again, we're back to the lead not being any good. And so what you're hearing loud and clear, if you really, really pay attention, is we're not hearing that the lead is bad. We're not hearing that the prospects don't need help. What we're hearing is that agent doesn't have a strategy, because what they thought was a strategy was calling a lead card. Or maybe they actually went out and visited that, which we highly encourage, and we wish more agents did that. It's going to increase your acquisition and lower your costs dramatically, I promise you, but many don't like to go out. Okay, that's your business. But they went out, they made a phone call, a sale wasn't made, and they thought that that was their strategy. So think about just for a moment what a true strategy would be. You take this direct mail card. Maybe you got the list of the 1,000 people it was mailed to. Maybe you've got some with phone numbers, some without phone numbers. Maybe what you should be doing is have a secondary step. Maybe you've got a little kit that you drop off, informational guide. if you can't get them at home. Maybe you mail it to them if you don't want to go out. Maybe you put some additional information in there. Maybe you put on an event occasionally. Maybe you put on a Medicare 101 event. Maybe you do a great Zoom meeting or a webinar type. Or maybe when we can all get back together, you could do a live event at a community center of some sorts. Maybe you have all of that set up so that if they're not interested at that moment, maybe a different tactic as part of your strategy would do a better job engaging with that prospect. Maybe you could invite them to that event if they don't want a meeting at that moment. Maybe they're a little cautious. Maybe they've had problems in the past. Maybe you haven't earned their trust yet. Maybe for the list with the phone numbers, maybe you call those people. They didn't return a lead card, but it doesn't mean they don't need assistance. It just means they maybe were skeptical of who would be coming out to visit them. So maybe you reach out to them. Maybe you put all of those people into a CRM tool. Maybe you have some email addresses that you load into that marketing platform. Maybe you continue to engage with that prospect over and over again until you've earned their comfort. You've earned the right to sit in front of them and present your solution. You see, all of those things I just talked about, that would be having a strategy. Going out, taking the lead card, calling, not getting someone, saying the lead card's bad, that's just a tactic. Going out and visiting the person, not having a secondary way of working that card, not having a second or third way of engaging with that prospect, that's just a tactic. And so tactics, though useful, if they're used solely by themselves, are not very cost effective. They're going to get frustrating. And again, they're going to dramatically increase your acquisition costs because you're going to have to do a lot more because you're getting a very little return off of that tactic. So some of the other tactics that we talk about as insurance professionals is direct mail, we talked about. Maybe it's asking for referrals. Maybe it's engaging with friends or family members. Maybe we're working with our we're the center of influence in our friends and family. At least we talk to them about what we do. Maybe it's seminars we do. Maybe we do TV ads. Maybe we do radio. Maybe we put it into a local newspaper. Maybe we take out a little corner of a menu at a restaurant if we're in a smaller town or community. Maybe we put on some events that we invite the community to. Maybe it's not insurance related. Maybe we do a little barbecue and we invite seniors to it. There's a lot of clinics these days. They're asking agents to put events on in their parking lots just to engage with the agent as well as engage with some of these clinics that, specialize with the senior population. Maybe we're working our existing clients. Maybe we're partnering with other professionals and we tend to get referrals from CPAs or financial institutions or, P&C agents or some of these sources. So all of these, and there's nothing wrong with any of these, I promise you. What I'm saying is these are just a few of the tactics. But what we want to do is we want to either use a portion of these and turn them into a strategy or use one and have a full marketing strategy built around it. How do we get started? How do we engage with this partner or with this population of people? How do we work with them on the front end? How do we nurture that? How do we work with them on the back end? How do we engage with them on an ongoing basis? What do we do next? So some of the things that would be important to do is to sit down, first off, set a budget. I think most all of us have to work off of budgets. So we're going to have to know what our budget is. So set a budget. Next, we're going to want to think about what is our method of lead generation. Now, just a tip here. Do not get frustrated. Do not move from one tactic of lead generation to another. We have agents that will try one thing one time. It doesn't yield those sales. It doesn't work the way they wanted. They stop. Consistency really is key. I have agents that are successful in this business that still sometimes struggle because we'll do a lead drop form as an example. We'll have one where they go out and they sell 6 or 7, and that's the best lead drop, and we do the exact same one. They go out to the exact same amount of people, and they get no sales. And they're discouraged, and they're frustrated, and they instantly want to switch tactics. Well, we just go back at it. We go back at it with that same lead piece. We go back at it with the same area they want to work. And what you'll find is, lo and behold, that next one usually yields another nice batch of sales. And you can see that sometimes, just like in sales, marketing can be a roller coaster. Sometimes advertising can be a little bit of a roller coaster. So stick with your lead source. Yes, you may want to use a couple of different ones, but ultimately, don't try it once, get frustrated, and moved on, because you're going to end up bouncing around and never really get settled in. I know one of our agents, he started doing seminars, and he struggled the first couple. And I told him, hey, I know it's a lot of work. I know it's costly. Stick with it. And, here a couple years later, he's filling rooms with people that are sitting through his Medicare 101 sessions, and he's making a tremendous amount of sales out of those. People love engaging, seeing who they're working with, learning about Medicare and these solutions, and now he's doing a great job and loves that lead source. So, again, be consistent. Choose your audience. Consistency we've talked about. Have a follow-up plan. Track your acquisitions. Understand what's working, what's not working, because as I said, marketing is sometimes a moving target. I've worked with lead programs over the last 23 years I've been doing this that worked great, and all of a sudden we hit a brick wall. It was like everything just stopped. The leads weren't good. Agents didn't like them. They weren't working. People were being overrun with calls and a whole host of other problems. So sometimes it does change. Sometimes what's working. So we have to be looking ahead. What we're using today might change in the future, and it might actually go away. So are we ready and prepared? But if we're tracking our acquisition, if we're tracking our success and our conversion and our costs, we're going to be prepared for that. So just another tip. The next thing we're going to talk about, and we've actually gotten quite a few calls about this recently from agents who are starting to realize, and I think this pandemic that we're all going through and this new wave selling and having to be more virtual and not being able to go out into the field like we once did is making all of us stop and think about, what are we doing about this? How are we engaging? So one of the things we keep getting asked is, how do I, or what is a CRM tool? Client customer relationship management tool. I highly recommend you get involved with one of those if you haven't already. Now, we have some of the top CRM tools out there, and don't worry if you want this to have and to hold. We will be sending a couple of these pieces as a follow-up email and as a thank you for attending today. So we'll be sending you these pieces. And then you can see there's a portion in the corner there. There are free CRMs. And there's, trust me, a multitude of CRMs out there. You can just do a Google search. They'll usually even give you some free trials. You can test it out. But if you don't have a good CRM tool, I would highly recommend getting involved with one. It's going to make your life maybe initially a little more challenging, because they do take some time to get up and running and working the way you want it. But once you do, everything is at a click of a button. You can see your clients, you can see your policies, what you've sold them, you can check your commissions, and certainly you can make sure that you're continuing to engage with your clients. You can put in notes and keep track of files and documents that are attached so that you're protected and so that you're more virtual and you don't have, a multitude of filing cabinets either. It may cut down on that. So again, a great tool. One tip, again, I gave this presentation about a year ago. I'll tell you, we actually as a company have moved to one of these, this Zoho. A little more complex, but it works very well. It interacts with a lot of our other tools, so we really appreciate that. But I actually had a small insurance company that was at that event and called me afterward, and they said they started using this less annoying CRM in the bottom corner here, and they said for what their needs were, it changed everything they're doing and has made life a lot simpler. So that's even an insurance company. So don't be concerned if you haven't gotten started with these programs. Even insurance companies are still struggling in some cases to get caught up. But that was one. They came to me and said they actually really enjoyed it. It's working well for them. So what are, again, some of the advantages? Well, lead tracking, client tracking, follow-up methods, commission tracking, cross-selling, figuring out your acquisition cost. Did this lead cost me $10, or did this cost me $100? You've got to factor those things in your budget. Marketing management, client management, reporting, income tracking. So there really is a whole host of benefits to these CRM tools. And again, some of them very low cost to no cost. And then there are some that are a little bit more robust and some a lot more robust. I would probably steer you away from those. Those can be a little challenging to work with. Now, the second thing you're going to want to engage with is an email marketing platform. Now, an email marketing platform, in some cases, it can be standalone. It can tie into your CRM that we just talked about. It may tie into some other system that you currently have. You'll just have to check with those systems to see that they communicate. But at the end of the day, even having a standalone email marketing platform is key, because here you've done all this strategy. You have your clients there, or you have your prospects there. See, you have to continue to engage with them. You might have heard the term over and over, drip marketing. You know, that's part of these programs, because what you can continue to do is engage with your clients, with your prospects. Remind them of what solutions you offer. Remind them that you're an expert in the community. Again, we can't just have a tactic. We can't just put up a website and hope people are going to buy insurance from us. You have to find ways to drive them to you through those channels, and a marketing platform is a perfect way to do it. You can have it set up automatically. You can type up some letters. You can do some very basic graphics. Pieces for our agents who are contracted with us. We have a sales and marketing and graphics team. They'll actually put together the pieces for you. They'll put together the letters. They'll put your logos, your contact information on it. They'll put it into pieces that we've already created. And all you have to do is put it into your platform and click a button, and it instantly goes out to your hundreds of clients and tells them about the new life insurance product that they need to talk about, or that it's Life Insurance Awareness Month, or that we're coming up to Medicare and we need to sit down and get together and review your program. So whatever you want to communicate, because imagine if you get 100, 200 plus clients, if you had to call every single one of them to share that news or share that information, so that's very time consuming, very difficult. Where most people check their email. As a matter of fact, a lot of these are allowing you to now text message market. So if you've got your client's cell phone numbers, you could actually just send a nice little blurb, just a nice little thank you, just a nice little reminder that AEP is coming up and we'd like to set that appointment in the next 30 days. So very soft touch, but a very, very low-cost way to communicate with your clients and to continue to build your marketing strategy. So again, we talked about on the other page, but great for lead nurturing, lead generation, cross-selling, drip marketing, lower your acquisition costs, because again, some of those leads, yeah, you got it, you paid for it, but maybe you couldn't engage with that client. Maybe it was wrong timing. Well, now you can continue to work and stay in front of them in a very low-cost, easy, automated way that is going to increase your odds of closing that. You can see on the right here, it's just kind of a graph showing how you can set email campaigns up. If they click and open it, it goes to this box. If they don't open it, it goes to this box. And then another email goes out. So again, you can automate a whole strategy with some of these tools. So here, what we have talked about is a lot of things that go into a true marketing strategy. And I hope today that you are able to maybe see and identify some of the areas that you've been challenged with. Again, maybe your lead system works, but maybe it hasn't worked so well because the strategy wasn't in place. Or maybe some of these tools weren't in place to make that strategy come together. So these are some of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. We engage with our agent community all over the country, trying to help you be better equipped, better prepared to have greater success in this market. Yeah, products are important. We've got all the top products. We've all got all the top carriers like many others, but it's what you do with that product and how you take and implement that into your sales process, into your marketing strategy is what's key and what's going to help you grow your business. So as I mentioned, previously we've done this in one event. Today, for time's sake and for your time's sake, it's a Friday. We hope it's beautiful weather and you can go out and enjoy it. We're going to break this up into two. So this first part was more about marketing. What is marketing? What is a marketing tactic? And what is a marketing strategy? Because again, tactics make up a strategy when they're planned out. So you want a true strategy. But next week, what we're going to do on Friday, because this is our regular Friday webinar series, you've heard from other teammates here at Insurance Advisors Direct this whole year. All of these recordings are hosted on our YouTube channel, so please go out and visit. If you haven't seen some of our past ones, go see some of our past events. Click to like or to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whether they're midweek or Friday, you'll certainly be able to catch up on the recorded version of that. We've got some things beyond webinars coming out. We've got some live videos and some other things, as I mentioned, that you'll be seeing as well. So next week on Friday, we're going to be taking some of these marketing tactics, and we're going to show you how to use those, how to grow your sales with additional sales tips and ideas while using that marketing strategy. And again, we're kind of put everything together to help you to be more successful out in the field. So again, we appreciate everyone's time. Now, we currently have everyone muted, so at this time, we'll take just a couple of minutes to answer any questions. If you'd like to type in a question, there's a chat box there. You can go ahead and type that question. Unfortunately, because we have a larger audience, we can't just open this up by phone. But I'll hold on the line here for just a couple of minutes and see if we can answer some questions if you have any. Well, some of you may be typing. You can see here is our contact information, our 800 number. If you'd like to visit our website, iedbrokerage.com, you can learn a little bit more about us if you're not familiar with us. We do have an agent portal that is currently being updated, but there will be a whole host of tools, videos, trainings, marketing pieces, quoting tools, a lot of great information and techniques and tools that you can benefit from to help you grow your business. So it looks like at this time we do not have any questions. So again, I want to thank all of you for coming out. I hope that you were able to pick up some good ideas and tips from this meeting today. We appreciate your attendance. We appreciate your business and your partnership, and we look forward to continuing that. So if you don't have any questions now, but you think of some later, please give us a call. Talk to any one of our sales advisors. We'd be happy to answer your questions and get you more information. So with that, we'll end our webinar today. We'll thank you. We'll wish you a good rest of your day and a great weekend. Have a nice one, everyone.